Hi, I am Max Handelman, and I am excited to tell you the story, The Elijah Door, written by Leopold Strauss and illustrated by Alexi, Natchev, and published by Holiday House. The Lippas and the Galinskis, long time ago, in a town that might have been in Poland, might have been in Russia, lived next door to each other, raised their children, pulled their beets, and celebrated almost every holiday together. Everybody in the whole town knew that someday David Lipa and Rachel Galinsky would grow up and marry each other, and then the two names, Lipa and Galinsky, would be joined forever. Except not now. Now the families were fighting. As the story goes, the Galinskys sold the Lipas 2 fat geese in exchange for 7 laying hens. But the day after the Lipas got the geese, they died. Nobody knows why, but maybe the rumor went the Galinskys knew that the geese were already sick. Did the Lipas insult the Galinskys by asking for their hens back? Nobody knows the exact stories, but the families were fighting, and this Passover, there would be no Seder together. David and Rachel were very sad about this. They still loved each other, even if their families were feuding. And they could not imagine Passover without their two families together. And so they went to meet the rabbi. They had a secret meeting with the rabbi, and they told the rabbi the problem, and the rabbi said, I will go and talk to your families. And so the rabbi went and talked to Mama Galinsky. She said, you should just sit down at the same table. Sit at the same table? Forget it. The rabbi went to talk to the Lipas. She said, the children are in love. And Papa Lipa said, love shmub. What about me? What about my geese? There's no way. So the rabbi got together with Rachel and David, and they formed a secret plan. The rabbi said, we might have to ask the neighbors to fib a little bit, but that's okay. Tell them that I said it's okay. And so the plan was hatched. One by one, the neighbors came to the Lipas and the Galinskys. They said, my husband lost his job, and now we can't host a Seder. Do you think you have room at your Seder for us? Well, of course. And the neighbors came to the Lipas too. They said, my son moved away, and now I have nowhere for Seder. Do you think you have room for me at your Seder? Well, of course. Well, the neighbors came pleading poverty and broken dishes and injuries, and the Galinskys and the Lipas said, of course, come to our Seder, come to our Seder. But where would they put everyone? The neighbors said, don't worry, we'll bring chairs, we'll bring tables, we'll bring dishes, we'll bring chicken, we'll bring everything. And so the Lipas and the Galinskys had so many guests coming to their Seders. Where were they going to put everyone? The tables started to climb across the floor, and the tables went out the door, the side door that Papa had built when he didn't want to look at the Galinskys anymore, and out the front door of the Galinsky house. Across the yard, David and Rachel set up the tables, and they came right up close to each other. Just as Passover arrived, 3 things happened. The sun went down, and a star came up in the sky, announcing that the holiday had arrived. The Lipas and the Galinskys went out to the yard to greet their guests when they saw the tables almost touching each other. No way, absolutely not, not a chance. But then around the corner came Rabbi Rachel with her family and a table in tow. She brought the table and she put it right between the two last tables, connecting the tables, slinking out of the Lipa house, slinking out of the Galinsky house, right in the middle. The rabbi sat down. David sat on one side of her. Rachel sat on the other. What choice did the parents have? But they sat down with all their neighbors at the long tables. The rabbi raised her Kiddush cup, but Mama Galinsky said, "Wait!" She ran into the house. She threw open the windows so that everybody inside could hear the rabbi. The rabbi led the blessings. The Seder started. The 4 questions were asked and answered. And into the Seder they went. Late into the night, it was time to welcome Elijah to the Seder. David's favorite part was opening the door for Elijah, but David looked around. He said, "Rabbi, how will Elijah know that it's time to come to the Seder? The doors have been opened all night." "I know," said Rachel. She said, We'll use the front door of the Lipa house that has not been opened since this whole fight started." David ran inside. He opened the door and everybody cheered as David welcomed Elijah through the door that had not been opened in so long. The feud was over and the whole town agreed the Passover from then on would be celebrated with the Lipas and the Galinskys and the tables coming together through the yard, and they would always use the Elijah door, the very front door of the Lipa house, to welcome Elijah. And that is the story of the Elijah door.